I got another table made today with copper legs. Keep the slugs out. So I've got 2 done and 2 more to go. It's snaining or rowing. It's either rain snowing or snow raining. Hi you guys, I'm making tables while it's snaining outside. Guess what I did? Oh my gosh. So I cut them both short. I want to screw the 1x4 to the 2x4. So I really need a longer piece of 1x4. Hi. So what I decided to do was, since I have to go in to get groceries tomorrow, I go in once a week. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up a little bit more wood. I got some new material, piece of plywood. I just cut these 1x4s, and so I've got everything I need. The whole point of this was that I wanted to be able to pull the legs off the tables at the end of the season so I could stack these tables. So what I did the next time was I drilled it out to 1 1/4 inches. I'm cutting a strip of t-shirt, of this old t-shirt. I'm tucking it around the edge of the copper pipe. This is like a knife with the tips broken off. Ugh, stuffing it all the way down and then just kind of coming around like that. Okay, there we go, good enough. I'll just go ahead and clip this thing off. Are you ready for spring? I'm ready for spring. You're looking kind of sleek. Did you lose some of your fur? Oh my goodness. We got 2 buddies. I noticed today that my Salanova lettuce had popped out of the little soil blocks that I made last week. And so I brought them out here to sit beside the green onions out in the greenhouse. Okay, so today I brought out the leeks, and the green sweet crisp Salanova lettuce is popping up. It's snowflaking out, but let's see here. This is my red sweet crisp Salanova lettuce, and they're popping out pretty good. So I suppose I had better get this parsley out to the greenhouse table too, because it's getting real tall. I didn't worry about it so much because I put multiple seeds in here, so I can always just kind of pull these big guys out. And I probably ought to take some of this kale out. These 3 varieties are already popping up. Yikes. But the scarlet kale isn't coming up at all. Unfortunately, they're all on the same flat, so I think I'm just gonna take this flat out too. Alrighty, so we've got some little chard guys popping up. And Italian kale is popping up. So I'm going to take all of these last 3 flats out to the greenhouse table. Okie doke. So we're getting a little bit of sun. And next week, the forecast is for sun breaks. And even with the clear skies, the nighttime temperatures are supposed to be above freezing. So I think we're turning a corner on this weather. Oakley dokley, we got all of the big flats out here in the greenhouse now on all 3 of our tables. And guess what? This second batch of plantings, I've got a little arugulas coming up. That is my speedy arugula. Okie doke, so I'm in the other greenhouse here now, and I'm gonna try and get another batch of transplant soil mix put together. We'll see what I get done. So I mixed the lime and fertilizer into that batch, and I've got 1, 2, 3 boxes. Each has 5 gallons in it, and then I was left with a partial. And I'm going to put that in a smaller box here. And I marked it 2021 with fertilizer, so I know I put the fertilizer in there. So now I know that when I do 1 batch, it gives me that amount. And then out of each box, I'm getting like 3.5 flats. For, you know, like a 72 count flat of soil blocks comes out of one of these big boxes. There you go. Alrighty, so I've got 1, 2, 3 and a partial. Another night and everybody's put to bed. Oh, probably in a few more days or so I won't have to do this anymore at night. Hi! Oh. Life is good, folks. The sun is gonna come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow. Da 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 da. There'll be sun tomorrow. Tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, it's only a few days away. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's snaining out, but don't be afraid. It's okay. Would you like me to tell you a story? Next week, we go and get our second COVID vaccine shot, which is pretty freaking cool. They say that on your second one that you might kind of feel cruddy. But that mostly happens with young people, and I am not young, so everything's gonna be great. But it did make my arm sore, so I'm gonna have a sore arm. I was a little bit tired. And I've been thinking about moving on to watching Netflix. I just noticed has, and maybe it's been there for a while, I just noticed it, has all of Portlandia, which I've seen some of those shows, you know, like I've seen little clips on YouTube, and I just think they're so funny. Oh my god. So this is something I do like when I'm sitting down to eat dinner, and I know you're supposed to sit with your food in silence and think about your food and eat it and all that, but whatever. So I watch movies instead, like I watch some short thing or whatever. So that was Star Trek before. What I do when I'm eating breakfast is I watch my YouTube channels. Yeah. And when I'm eating like my lunch, I'll watch YouTube channels, because I think the YouTube channels have some of the most interesting and informative and creative sort of stuff going on compared to some of the movies and stuff you see, which are all kind of like the same old thing, same old storyline, different actors. I think the tree is dumping its rain, as the wind is blowing, the tree is dumping its rain on the plastic, and it's kind of going shh, shh, shh. Anyway. Yep, for Doodle. So Portlandia. Yeah, I'm so excited about that, kind of. Anyway, I think that's all my stories. This is my life, people. It's a pretty awesome life. I'm excited to get back on the boat and go up the river. Super excited about that. Yeah, the sunshine, when the sun comes out, there's a lot of heat in it. So cozy. So excited, yeah. Oh, did I already say that? Did I already say that I was excited? Yes. Okay. Anyway, those are all my stories. I don't think I have any other stories, folks. This is just my life. And it's pretty awesome. Yeah. I think I'm somewhat on schedule, so I haven't been super stressed, because I kind of like, once I got my calendar put together, now it's snaining. Or is it? Anyway, something's coming down. Once I got my calendar put together for my, for when I need to plant things, then I realized, okay, you know, I'm not actually going to be harvesting stuff till here, so that gives me time to do my, like mid-June at the earliest, I'll be harvesting stuff, and if I'm lucky. I'm just like babbling, but I got more than enough for about 1.5 buckets of peat moss. So anyway, I'm going to dump this on the, oh my god, what is it doing? It's sleeting. I think it's sleeting right now. I'm going to dump this on the tarp and keep on keeping on. See you later, folks. Alright, so I'm actually, I'm moving on to sifting compost, which is what takes the longest. But, I was just thinking, I let you all go, but then I was thinking I should talk about some of the YouTube channels that I have been liking a lot. Now, it's kind of hard to talk about those things because I have old golden oldies that I watch all the time. And I actually have some newer channels that I've subscribed to that I wish I could watch and comment on more because I really like them. So, you know, by talking about these few channels, I don't want to like disregard, you know, all the other ones. But you can see all my little channels that I have in my channel list. There was one channel that I actually mentioned in a video, you know, when I talked about about racism. I'll link that video above. And I mentioned a channel that had got me thinking about a lot of things, and that was what was at the time called Brain Girl. And what she's just changed her channel name to the Hermitage. And I really enjoy that channel. She does everything from just like, yeah, everything. Something she's been doing, you know, she does like some gardening. And more recently, she's been posting some poems that she's written, which I think are really good. And so I wanted to re-mention that channel. But the one I wanted to mention because it's super brand new to me, and I am having so much fun watching it. It's called happyblacklegends, all one word, and she's just so funny, and talks about so many different things and has so many interesting things to say about the things she talks about. Yeah, and she has been, you know, okay, you know how I always thought when I was younger that I would always, you know what the popular music was, or what, you know, even if it wasn't like popular music, if it was, you know, like cool music, right? And that I'd always be on top of that. But I don't know, I think the last time I was paying attention to what was going on was when I used to go to the clubs in Seattle. But I used to go to the kind of the gothy clubs. There was all sorts of music going on in that would have been the, let's see, when did I get out of the military? I got out of the military in '92. So then that's when I went up to Seattle. So like some of the real popular bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden and stuff like that were already playing the big stadiums. They weren't like playing small clubs or anything. But there was still a lot going on music-wise in Seattle, just like as far as live bands. But then also the DJ scene was so awesome. You know, like, yeah, and what bums me out is that when I was going to those clubs, I used to like really like the music, but I never paid attention. I never like said, oh, well, who is this? Who's this artist? So then I have no clue what all that amazing music, who was making it for the most part, right? Like, you know, like, okay, 9 Inch Nails, everybody knows that. But like some of the more obscure ones, I never knew who they were. And so I'm super bummed about that because I don't even know what, like, to go back and listen to. But yeah, so grunge, that era, obviously what I was listening to at the clubs was more dance music, like amazing music. Yeah, you think, oh, I'm going to kind of keep up on that, but that's kind of the last I ever, and I didn't even know what I was listening to at that time. So Happy Black Legends, she does talks about different music that I wasn't aware of, and I really enjoy that. And oh, by the way, she can be really vulgar. So like if you're like looking for a family channel, this is not it. But I'm like in my natural setting, in my whatever, I'm the same way. I'm a vulgar person, so I really appreciate her humor and her and what things she has to say. Anyway, that's my blah 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 fangirl of the Happy Black Legends. Okay, folks, so I forgot I was going to tell you something else. I don't just watch the boob tube. On Sundays, I've been trying to take off, you know, and what I've been doing is reading. And right now I'm reading a book called Practical Philosophy by Peter Singer. But it's really interesting read. And so I'll probably do a video on that when I'm done with it. Ugh. In fact, it's kind of funny because when I was growing up, I was in a religion that kind of frowned on, you know, like television and movies and stuff like that. So when I was a real little kid, I remember watching Sesame Street, but then our television blew up and we just didn't get one after that. So the only time that I kind of I watched stuff on television was when my dad would bring home a television, which was probably like, I don't know, there was a period of time when I was like in grade school or something maybe, and then later on when I was in high school or something. And because that one of those periods of time was when I was reading the books Little House on the Prairie, but I was also watching the show. So that's kind of where I saw that. But otherwise, I read books. I grew up reading books. Alrighty, so then I added the sand and the lime on top. Okay, dudes. I am mixing my last batch. Woo. Oh yeah, my dust mask. That important part. Ooh. Let's do this about 20 times or whatever. Okay, so I've got 12 big boxes and 4 little boxes of new soil mix. And I might, you know, dip into that a little bit this year, but most of it actually might be for next year. So that is super cool. I think that I'm going to go ahead and go over to the other greenhouse, put everything to bed, put roll cover over everything, but I might not have to do that after this weekend because weather is looking a little bit better next week. So I'll talk to you guys next week. It's squirrel looking all sleek.